Hey, Big Al calling civilization. I hope everyone is well. Thank you for being here. If you like the content, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, any of that good stuff. So today you find me here in the little town of Daly in Girvan in Ayrshire, and I'm here to see this once magnificent castle. This is Dalwaran Castle, and this is actually the newer castle, even though it's a bit of a ruin. This is the newer one that the family moved into in round about the 1800s. There was one built in the 1600s, which is about 300 metres down the road. I will take you down there and show you that and give you a bit of history, and then we'll come back up and we'll go through this one, not that there's much left of it. So come with me, let's go and see what it's all about. So folks, here we are at the original Dalwaran Castle, built in the early 14th century for Gilbert Kennedy, who was listed as the laird in those days. So as you can see, there's not much left of it now, and what I'll do is I'll take you and we'll have a little look around the place. So come with me, let's have a look, not that there's much to see. Now as you can see, there's not too much left of this building, not much to go inside and investigate. However, there is one part of the building that I can get into, and I'll take you in there, not that it's too exciting, and we'll see what's going on in there. So come with me folks. So let's go in here and have a little look, see what's in here folks, shall we? Looks like an old fireplace, a little drip in the roof. I have to watch my foot in here folks. This looks like it was maybe a lookout at some time. Not that you can see much. I looked onto the river, but it's overgrown now. So let's keep going and see what we can find. Okay folks, so let's keep low and go under this archway. See what we can find under here, shall we? So there's another archway to my left. And if you know me, you'll know that I'm going down there. So bear with me a moment and I'll head down there. So let's get under here folks, see what we can find, shall we? So, into the darkness we go. Yeah. So, another little tunnel from back in the day. Let's see where this goes, shall we? Indeed we shall, indeed we shall. Oh, looks like a latrine. So, fast forward to the 17th century and this place is no longer cutting it for the Kennedys. So they expanded it, they added more rooms, they added more grounds, there was staff living here as well as the family, but it just wasn't big enough for a family like the Kennedys, who were extremely powerful and wanted to show off their status. So that's when in the 1800s they hired Robert Adam, the architect of the time, to design the large new castle, which is just 300 metres up the hill, which looks amazing. It's a shame what's happened to it, but come on, we're going to have a look. So here we are at what would have been the back entrance to Dalwaran Castle. Now this castle was designed by the rockstar architect of those days, Robert Adam. Robert Adam was also known for designing Culzean Castle, which is still intact and well looked after, and also Caldwell House, which unfortunately is also now a ruin. Unlike Caldwell House, this castle had a happy history and families did live here happily in the 1800s. So I'll take you in and I'll show you around. There's not much left, but I'll take you first of all to what would have been the centrepiece of Robert Adams' design, which would have been his floating staircase. So let me take you in and show you. So there's not much left of the lower part now, as you can see, but if we look up, there's still some of the staircase left. And that went all the way to the top and there was a library up there. There was also a glass dome ceiling, which would have looked phenomenal in beautiful days. This would have been stunning for its time. Okay, so let's have a little walk down these stairs into what would have been the basement. I have my camera light on so we should be able to see okay. Now these stairs are a little bit dodgy, so bear with me while I take my time going over them. So I don't want to fall down the giant hole in the middle, guys, you know. That would not be fun, to say the least. So bear with me a little second while I step over this messier in the stairs. Okay, and this should take us down to the basement, or what's left of it, to be honest with you. So let's have a little look, see how we got on down here. So as you can see, there's not much left down here in the basement. So this would have been the servants' corridor. In fact, the kitchen is just in the room up there, which I'll take you and show you in a moment. So these were designed to keep all the staff out of the way of the guests that were being entertained up the stairs. And it's well designed, it's very fireproof, and it's probably one of the only things in the building that hasn't actually been destroyed. So let's have a look around the place and I'll tell you more about it. Okay, so in here, this would more than likely have been the kitchen area, because as you can see over here, there are two what looks like ovens. You'll have to excuse the dripping, I'll keep the camera away from that. It's very wet in here. So this looks like an old oven of some description, and that looks like it's probably been some sort of cooking or fire apparatus. And I believe that there would have been maybe an old lift, if it's not a chimney, and that would have taken the food up the stairs. I may be mistaken, but that looks like maybe what it was for. There's an old pulley up there on the wall. So I think that may have been what this was for. So let's keep walking around and see what we can find. So as we continue down what would have been the servants' corridor, we find darkened rooms, which were more than likely used to store wine or meat back in the day. So I've got my head torch here, so I'll take you inside. So that's definitely what this looks like, where food would have been stored. Well, I hope that's what it was for anyway, but just to give you an idea how dark it is in here, I'll put my light off. It's pretty dark, so if you're coming here, I would advise putting on a head torch. Now this looks like we've found the remains of an old lift shaft. So let's go and have a look, see what we can see, shall we? Okay. Yep, definitely the remains of an old lift shaft. No lift in there anymore. Still some gears at the bottom. So let's keep moving, shall we? I found an old set of stairs. Okay, so up the stairs, see where this goes, shall we? I don't think we need the camera at this point, although it's very low in here, just so you're aware of where I am and what's going on. So try not to slide back down at the moment. It is very, very muddy. Oh, jings, 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 jings. Oh, that was extremely muddy, so you have to excuse me a moment. As you can see, there's no roof left, and that's where I've just come from. It was very slidey. It's hard not to slide back down there. So here we are at the lift shaft again. Ground looks a little bit dodgy there. Yeah, so let's have a look up there, shall we? Yep, goes up to the roof. Got to be very careful you don't fall off here. So let's keep going. Now there's a massive hole in the floor here. I'm going to try and not fall down that, because that would not be cool. Just avoid that at all costs, I think. Now this is where you can see the Robert Adam architecture in the window frames. So this here would have been the front door, and I'll show you the view looking over the River Girvan down the old stairs. Now you won't be able to see it through the trees, but the old castle is down there. Let's keep going, shall we? In 1745, when the Kennedys moved up here and built this place, it was a lot different looking from what it is today. In fact, it wasn't a castle, it was a house disguised as a castle, a luxury place so they could show off their wealth, for they were a powerful family, the Kennedys. And then in 1881, it was extended to make more room for a large family. It stayed in the Kennedy family until they died out, I believe, and then it was rented out during the war and after the war as a school. And then in 1967, the roof was removed deliberately so that they didn't have to pay property tax. And then the weather set in, the floors disappeared and the place fell to ruin. And it's a real shame because it could be something fantastic. So as you can see, nature has taken over this building, as it would do if a building has no roof on it. So let's keep having a look around, see what we can find. So it always pays to bring a head tops to a place like this. Another fireplace. Okay, let's keep moving. So in the 1800s, around about 1881, this place was extended, and this would probably have been the great dining hall by the looks of things. And it was probably very impressive at one point. Not much left of it now, unfortunately. So we'll try and get down there just directly. Okay, let's keep going. Bit of fencing here, and I think that's there because the stairs that once came up here are clearly not going anywhere anymore, and that wouldn't be a very nice fall. You'd probably injure yourself. So let's keep moving and let's not go down those stairs. So there is a lot of fireplaces in this building. A lot of fireplaces. So let's keep moving and we'll go to the spiral staircase, which is just here. Okay, let's head on up, shall we? Now there's no banister here or railing to stop me falling if anything goes wrong, so bear with me while I take my time to get up here. More fireplaces. Let's keep going now. This is a little bit treacherous, folks, so just bear with me while I take my time getting up here. And there is a banister at the very top. Fantastic. Okay, almost there, folks. Quite high up now, so we are. Let's keep going. Okay, almost at the very top. Not that it goes anywhere. So there we are on the roof. There is a bit of a fall over there, so I'm not going to go up there. Alright folks, join you at the bottom. So this looks like it might have been a dining room of some description. There's a fireplace over there. Let's keep going, see what we can find. Another massive fireplace. Another fireplace. Quite a lot of fireplaces in this building. All Alright folks, let's see if we can get in here, shall we? Looks like it might be a little bit blocked, but we'll certainly give it a go. Okay, not too bad. Have to watch this roof in case it falls on my head, folks. Old stairway. Now it's far too wet to climb up there, guys. Plus there's nothing up there. I have actually been up before. So let's get back out here. Go the other way. Oh, you've got to be careful, and there's a lot of stuff lying about. People always watch their feet, but in places like this you have to watch the roof for hanging beams. Actually, the radiator almost followed me. Another place I was in. Okay. Not much left of this place, is there? Don't think so. Nah. Not much left of this at all, so let's get out of here. Let's check this out first over here. Who knows what this would have been. Alright, I think that'll do it for today, folks. So, I've been Big Al. It's been a pleasure having you here. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever. If you didn't, then please just scroll on. So, Big Al signing out. Bye bye.